Welcome to another episode of AI Assisted Course Creation. In this video series, two seasoned edupreneurs, Aruna and I, Gautam, are using the popular ChatGPT and other large language models to rebuild an online course from scratch. In today's video, we are creating content for our two-day course, the Online Course Creation Kickstarter. Aruna will offer a quick recap on the progress we've made till date on the AI-assisted course creation series.
To recap, we've already built learner outcomes for this course. And based on those learner outcomes, we've also identified the activities and tasks that will help our students achieve the main outcomes of this course. Now, the next step in the course design process is to create as well as curate content that supports our students in these activities. So that's exactly what we're going to be doing today.
Before we jump into the day's program, be sure to subscribe to our channel. That would be a terrific way to both support us and stay up to date on everything we're doing in the intersection of education, business, and technology.
So what's today's plan? As usual, we kick off by creating Emily, our ChatGPT course creator persona. Watch the video in the link to find out how to do it. Then we describe the task of the day to Emily and also give her lots of context so that she can execute upon this task. And finally, we see her response and then iterate on our prompts to get exactly the output that we are looking for.
Now let's go and create Emily, our favorite online course creation persona. Now that Emily has been spawned up, let's go about describing our task, where we are asking Emily to create 2 lessons of 90 minutes each. Earlier, we spoke about how we plan to supply ample context. Here's how we are doing it. We've published a Google Doc titled Course Information Sheet, where we've populated all the details that we've created so far, like course title, course description, learner outcomes, syllabus, and activities for each learner outcome. Let's now set up the link reader plugin so that ChatGPT can read and understand the course information document. What we're doing is we've enabled something called a link reader, which is a plugin. It's a beta plugin available on ChatGPT store. So we've enabled that, and we're going to paste the link and check if ChatGPT is able to, one, access it. And just to be on the safe side, we're also asking it to list down the number of activities in that document so that we can be sure that it's getting it right.
It's funny that ChatGPT has listed 9 activities, even though right above, it counts the activities as a total of 8.
At least it's listed down correctly, so we'll assume that it knows what it's talking about. Using the information given on the link, which it has read using the link reader plugin. We are specifically mentioning the format of the output we're seeking. We're also mentioning how we're supposed to allocate 6 minutes for the activity, and we're allocating 6 minutes for feedback. We've given a couple of pointers to how we should include lesson 2.1 and 2.2 into day 1, and the remaining lessons 3.1 up to 3.4 on day 2. We've also mentioned how the activities should be built around the lessons and giving some additional pointers about how to think about context. Let's see what Emily comes up with. So now we're relaying to ChatGPT that instead of giving 12 minutes for performing an activity and 6 minutes for feedback, we're asking ChatGPT to give exactly 6 minutes for performing the activity and 6 minutes for relaying feedback. Let's go.
I think we have hit another problem, which is that she has created a lesson plan which includes activities 1.1 through 1.3 on day 1. And she's forgotten activities 2.1 and 2.2. And so starting lesson 2, which is on day 2, with activity 3.1. So that's a problem which we need to relate to her. Another problem is that lesson 2 is looking increasingly like it's just alternating between activity and feedback and activity and feedback. Whereas it'll be nice to have some gap in between activities so that we can put fresh context and information for the students.
So we have a lot of feedback and we're going to relay it all to Emily. We're asking that the lesson 1 include all of the first 5 activities and lesson 2 include all of the remaining 4 activities. We're also asking for some time allocation so that the lecturer has some time to set up the context for each activity. And we're also telling Emily that there should be at least a buffer time of 1 minute between activities so that an overshooting of certain activities can be factored in. We're also instructing Emily that a 5-minute break be included mid-session so that all of us can take a break. Let's see if Emily can factor in all of this.
Awesome.
What do you think?
I think obviously that Emily has incorporated our feedback, but I must say I'm a tad bit disappointed that unlike our previous sessions where Emily always threw up something that was new to us, she hasn't really thrown up anything new in the lesson plan. For example, we had to tell her that there had to be a buffer time. We had to tell her that there had to be space between activities to talk about context for the next activity, probably new concept content. And again, her introduction is just introduction. She doesn't use really principles of active learning or good course design or good live session design and so on. Yeah, I'm not terribly impressed with Emily in today's session. What about you?
Same feeling. It feels like I talked to a robot, which is extremely good at following instructions, did not bring anything to the table on its own, which is not what we've seen over the past few weeks. However, what I can think of doing is maybe asking Emily, what can be done to improve this?
Excellent idea.
So I can just say, this is a great first draft. Let's see what Emily comes up with. What do you think?
I really like that we asked her for extra input. She has given about 3 + 3, 6 examples of how to level up the session. So one thing I can think of asking Emily is to add another column in the existing output that she's already given, where she might incorporate some of her suggestions.
Okay, we'll also ask Emily to give us some best resources for each of the line items. And let's see what she comes up with. We've asked for links, visuals, links to videos, books, all of that.
Okay, so I like this for a first draft. Clearly gotten here after a few iterations, but as a first draft, these resources are good. An instructor can go check out what links ChatGPT is given. And perhaps some of these could be new to us. We might not have seen some of these sources before. However, I'm also happy because I think ChatGPT cannot replace an instructor. Like especially today, we had to handhold the AI a lot to get to this output. So I have no fear in my mind that we're going to be replaced anytime soon. And the second part of my feedback would be that clearly, if we dig deeper into this, we can ask for specific kinds of resources, or we can dive deeper into specific topics and say, please get me more relevant resources for this section. In fact, an even greater level of detail we could go to is to start taking the help of ChatGPT to even create slides and scripts for the lessons and so on. So I would imagine that's where our future would be.
Long story short, ChatGPT is only as good as the questions you ask it. I think we're getting closer and closer to the actual act of preparing the lessons and having a plan for delivering the lessons. And here you can see ChatGPT faltering, which means that during the actual course live sessions, there would be multiple challenges that a system like ChatGPT would encounter. But who knows how this will all be addressed in the further revisions of ChatGPT. But as of now, it's safe to say that our job is pretty much insulated from disruption by ChatGPT. But there's a lot it can do in the context of helping us delivering those lessons and making those lessons better.
Absolutely. And as you rightly pointed out, a lot of the response depends on how well you can prompt it or how well you can guide it. So I'm absolutely with you on that. And this is a learning journey for us as well.
Awesome. That brings us to the end of today's video. We will continue the series. Stay tuned.
If you enjoyed that video,
please don't forget to like the video, share the video with your friends and subscribe to our channel.